Jesus, the apostle. What is an apostle and why does that matter for us today? So first off, let's start with the definition. The word apostle simply comes from the Greek word apostolos, which means a delegate or ambassador, someone who is being sent somewhere with authority and permission. If we're thinking in terms of builders, it's someone who's being sent to a job site with work permits and authority in hand to start the work that they're called to do, as opposed to just showing up somewhere and not being able to do the work that you're called to do. In the Old Testament, we see a few clear examples, and one of the most obvious ones may be Moses. Moses was called by God at the burning bush and then sent to Egypt to rescue his people, take possession of God's people, and deliver them to the promised land. We also see an example of Nehemiah, who was in exile with the king and got permission to return back to Jerusalem with a work order in hand to rebuild the walls and the temple. Jesus is our apostle because he was sent by the Father, for God so loved us that he sent his only Son. And just as he was sent to us to proclaim the good news of the kingdom, which he is our king, he also sends us. And so we see this apostolic tradition initiated by Christ, but being passed on to the Big 12 and Paul, but continues and carries on today, not by title, capital A apostle, but simply by traditions of reproducing the church and spreading the good news all around us. You see, the Latin variation of the word apostolos is missio, and the missio is simply missionary. We are looking at missionaries, not just overseas to a foreign place to spread the good news, but really in our neighborhoods and our communities. And so how do we build the church? Through Ephesians 4 and these tools and instruments that we've been covering. It's simply to identify the people that are being stirred by the Holy Spirit and then given the authority to initiate new works. And I think for the most part, these people that have these types of gifts feel disenfranchised because they are unsettled. But I think the church is intended to work together and use these instruments to further the traditions that we receive from Christ himself.